refresh me on what happened in the last chapter.
Like the most recent chapter, it was just Odin's flashback of him killing the boar and then saving the town, and then at the end he got like banned, and then he went to go with Yasui, and that's when we found out Orochi was like the slave or whatever the fuck.
Okay, so since we're still in the flashback and Odin's basically the main character. Like, what do you think we're gonna get this chapter? Like this chapter coming up.
I think we're gonna get more. I think a lot of the next chapter is gonna be a lot about like Orochi, because it seems like we know that Orochi betrayed Odin in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see that relationship build and like see what it turned into. Maybe like Odin ended up training Orochi or something in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure like how that's gonna play out, but I definitely think. No, go ahead. No, I was finished pretty much.
You were done. I honestly think we're gonna do it like a little time skip.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna see some of the Pirate King. Like we're gonna see like Whitebeard. We're gonna see him get introduced to Whitebeard, and we might potentially see Whitebeard with the secondary hockey.
I think that we still need a little bit more before we get to that point. Because I feel like this is mainly going to be about like Orochi and the Scabbards.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to figure out like, because right now the only Scabbards he has are just Kinemon and Denjiro. So we got to figure out like how the other people come into play and all that shit.
Yeah, but see, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I think we do a little bit of a time skip. It's for that reason that I think we get a little bit of a time skip because we know like the reason Oda retconned it was so that would fit into the timeline, right?
What do you mean?
With the rocks and everything.
Oh yeah.
So Whitebeard probably is just starting his crew, and he comes to Wano, and that's when Odin decides to leave because he left. He technically, well, no, he left twice, I think. I could be wrong, honestly.
I'm pretty sure he left to join Whitebeard, and then I don't think he ever went back to Wano until he was done with Roger's crew. At least that's what I'm assuming. So I mean, I think we're probably gonna get one more chapter, or maybe two more chapters, and maybe we get to that point. But I don't think that the Whitebeard thing, if it does get touched upon, I don't think we're gonna see too much of it. But maybe.
Well, what I'm saying is like because it gave us all his feats, and he's like in this chapter he was disowned, but he ended up inadvertently saving the fucking capital and shit. Then they blamed him, so he got kicked out, basically.
Yeah.
So if around this time, because I personally don't think we're gonna really see Orochi shit right now. For the simple fact, I think that we're gonna see that when we get to Orochi. Like it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Oda's the type to. Like we know Oda, he's a slow burn. You know?
No, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I feel like the entire point of this flashback is to kind of like get that out of the way, if that makes sense. Like he's giving us like the context for everything right now. You know what I mean? I feel like if anything, something like the Whitebeard stuff is something that he would save for later, if that makes sense.
Well, I only say Whitebeard because he already dead. We got and we already getting Roger. So we got Roger like twice in like a span of 30 chapters.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not far fetched, and we know that he was the first division commander. So and we already know that the first commander is always the one that they seek out, right? And it's always been that way in One Piece, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if it's confirmed he's the first division commander, but
no, he was. It's confirmed. Well, I mean, you can fact check it if you like, but yeah, it was confirmed that he is definitely
Well, I remember. I know that he was a commander on a ship. I think the fact that he was the first or the second division commander was always a theory, but um,
You, yo,
that's
you cut out
that's like a
you cut
theory
out
everyone's
for a
going with.
second.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you
No,
now.
no, yeah. The way I understood it was that it was confirmed that he was a commander on his ship, but I think people kind of assumed through like theory that he was the first commander because we know that like Whitebeard had like the first commander on his ship.
Well, I mean, no, everything adds up when you look at the timeline, right?
Commander on his ship.
Yeah, my bad. I just had to go to YouTube right quick so I could send out the link.
All right.
Yeah, but no, you're good. Continue. Go ahead. Continue what you were saying.
No, I was just saying that like one of the big theories, or we know that for a fact, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but we know for a fact that he was on Whitebeard's ship and he was a commander. But a lot of people just assumed he was the first commander because that whole thing about the Whitebeard not having a first commander for a long time.
Wait. Hold up. But hold up. When who we know that the third division commander was Thatch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who was the third? I mean, who was the second?
I would have to go look that up really quick because I it was either the first or the second one was vacant for a while, and then I think Marco took it or something. I don't.
It's the first because Marco's the right hand. That's what I'm saying. Him when Roger dying, I mean when Odin dying, it would make sense for him to hear about this up and coming pirate and then go and you know what I'm saying, like and go and seek him
Yeah.
out. The reason why I say it, like I said, because we know the first division commanders have always been sought out by their captain.
Right.
Then no, was it Yasa for
Yeah, it was Yasop.
it was so Yasa. Then you got Ben Beckman. Like I mean, but even just Yasa, we know that nigga is like
Yeah,
OD.
Rayleigh too. Yeah.
And like yeah, and Rayleigh was the fucking. But I could have sworn because it was like when he had a ship, he just pulled up on Rayleigh and was like, "Yo, come join my crew."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So and with Big Mom, those her kids. So
Yeah.
Captain Perry being the oldest and most powerful one out of all of them
Yeah.
makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But she wouldn't have to seek them out. That's why I said Big Mom would be the outliner. But all of the people, the right hand, he like they sought after. Shiri got sought after by Blackbeard. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's just like why if we know the third division was Thatch, the second division was Jozu because Jozu wasn't he the second commander?
Let me Google it right now. I Whitebeard. But yeah, just keep going with whatever you're saying. Because I'm curious about
Yeah.
this too.
So it's like if we know the second and third were who they were, and Jozu was been on a member of the crew for the longest, and Thatch was too until Blackbeard killed him, because Blackbeard was under Whitebeard for some shit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, now that I remember, it's Josie's the third commander, and uh, what it was.
Ace was the,
Yeah, Ace was the second.
and then Ace was the second, and then the first was fucking Thatch. But wait, who was the original?
The original what?
Second division.
Uh,
We know Ace wasn't. We know Ace wasn't old enough.
well, that's the thing because a lot of people think that it's Odin because they said that. Remember, they all wanted Ace to be the second division commander because it was left vacant for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were saying that Odin was probably the second division commander because
Yeah.
Whitebeard didn't have a second division commander for we don't know how long, but a long time until Ace came around.
Okay, so but it makes sense because if Marco was the first, we don't, and the second was vacant. We know the third was fuck, who was the third? Thatch. No,
Thatch
Thatch
was
was
fourth, and then Josie was
oh,
third.
and then Josie.
Yeah.
So like if they hadn't that they had didn't have a crewmate for the longest time, if they do, like, you know what I'm saying, it lines up. Everything lines up to it to be Odin. From when he died, they didn't have the second division commander for the longest. Then Ace came in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything adds up.
Yeah,
Like,
it's definitely possible for sure.
and then, like I said, I think he sought after Odin, honestly, or I think that he came to Wano.
Yeah, I don't think he sought after him specifically, but I'm sure that there's going to be like some weird interaction, and then like he just kind of happens to end up liking him. But yeah, I'm curious about how they end up running into each other, or
Yeah,
why.
because but like, because we know, like, wasn't what's his name was part of the fucking the Rocks. Whitebeard was part of the Rocks. They 40 years ago, they were defeated by Garp and Roger, and that's when Roger started to take over, and then wait, shoot, I'm trying to think. I lost my point.
Wait, when is this? Okay, when was this? When is this flashback taking place? It's like, how long ago was it?
It's 40. It's 40 something years ago. At first, it was 39, but it wouldn't have added up.
Yeah, and the Rock situation was 40 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I said I think we get a little bit of a time skip, but I don't really think we get that much of Orochi, because I think Orochi gets a flashback before he gets, knocked out or killed or whatever. That's always how they, you know what I'm saying? They always have a flashback.
Yeah. I think it's still too important just to like gloss over. Like we need a little bit more of that interaction.
Well, I think we get teased. Obviously, I think we get teased, but I don't think that Oda's just gonna let us get off. He's gonna blue ball us like he always does.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I'll give you a little bit on that point and say that maybe he doesn't show us like the twist, but at the very least, he has to like build up that relationship of like what Odin like.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, just build that relationship of how Odin and Orochi ended up just liking each other.
Yeah, but see, I don't think they necessarily like each other.
Or yeah, that wasn't the word I was trying to use, but just like what kind of relationship they had and how Orochi ended up betraying him, basically.
But that's not going to happen yet.
Or well, okay, so, but like,
because look at it. It wouldn't add up for the simple fact that Odin is already out as an outcast, and this nigga Orochi just got on as a servant that was literally throwing himself on the water, so he didn't step on it.
Yeah.
So it's like that wouldn't add up, because Odin would definitely not trust this nigga. He already said, "Who is this weirdo?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah, I get that, but like that could have been like a thing to where like maybe Orochi like begs him to train him or something like that, and they end up building like some type of thing, and like Odin never really likes him, but he kind of like just helps him out a little bit because he feels bad for him or something. You know what I mean? It could be like something like that.
I feel that, but I think we get more of the build up between the scabbards. That's why I don't really think that we really necessarily. I think we get
that will be involved
a little
too. I think.
Like I think we get teased like he would go to Odin like basically it'd be like Orochi would be like sad or whatever. Like he'd tell Odin his backstory and shit, and we don't get the backstory or whatever, or we get glimpses of it. I don't know how that's gonna work, but he's like training,
Yeah.
and then we cut to some other shit. Then we cut to maybe the motherfuckers. Maybe them. We see Odin doing something and getting more of the non-red scabbers. Like, I honestly think we're going to get a shoot tomorrow.
Well, the only reason why I'm pushing back on the Whitebeard thing is not because I don't want to see it. It's more just that. What do you think that showing Whitebeard would add to Wano right now, other than the obvious fact that we just like seeing Whitebeard and we kind of want to see that? Like, what do you think it would add to the story showing us his travel with Whitebeard? You know what I mean? Because I don't think it really changes anything.
Well, no, for the simple fact that Odin's already an outcast. Even the dude that he's seeking refuge at doesn't really like him.
Right.
So,
okay, so yeah,
I feel like he's gonna come, and then he's gonna witness him. He's gonna witness something about him, and he's gonna be like, "Come on, join my crew." And then Odin is like, "Let's go! I've been wanting to get out and see the world." Because
that's actually a good point.
It basically is what he was trying to do the entire time. He tried to run away so many times. If Whitebeard comes and he senses great strength in him and know that he can do great things, what's stopping him from going? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's actually stopping him from going?
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
I can't see it.
Now that you say that, I do think that it's definitely possible that like towards the end of like the flashback this would be a thing, because it does, like you said, it seems like it's building up to be a thing to where like everyone kind of like hates him and they can't really handle just like how ridiculous he is. And then I think it would be a good thing to end off on like Whitebeard kind of like showing like that he like actually like appreciates him and that he actually can like, I guess, like tame him or like handle him, you know what I mean, when the other people couldn't. And like that's like his like, you know, like father figure, if you will. That would be cool.
Well, yeah, no, like, because he sees like, and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Who are you?" Because doesn't Whitebeard have one of the legendary blades?
He does, but I think that he built that up over time. I don't know if it was always.
What if he goes there and gets it? What if he goes there and gets it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's stopping them? And we know they all go to Wano. At some point, they all have been to Wano.
Right.
So, you know, especially New World Pirates, they've always been hyping up Wano.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
it makes sense that we're gonna get a lot of shit in Wano.
Yeah. I mean, the flashback has been pretty good so far, so I'm expecting like good things to come.
I'm not. See, I hate the I'm expecting thing. For the simple fact that it's like, who are we to really tell this man what to do with his story? We may not like it, but we really can't say anything. And then people like when you build expectations, when you don't get that expectation, or you get it and it's not that, you know what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying, but I think that's like a good thing to say, but I don't really know if it's possible to not have expectations. I mean, you can do your best to like not let them get the best of you, but I think we all kind of have expectations to some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? But
no. I 100% agree. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm saying all of my feelings and stuff about it. Like, if like say I didn't like how Deku got his 6 quirks. You know what I'm saying? I know he can't use them now, but I feel like that shit should have been like foreshadowed or something. All Might should have said something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, All Might was able to use 100% the entire time since he inherited it, and that was decades.
Right. Well, I don't watch My Hero, but I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, I just say that like we set ourselves up sometimes,
No,
and
yeah,
like
I definitely,
I'm good.
I know exactly what you're talking about. A lot of the times, people will like expect some crazy shit, and then even if it's like decent, they'll not like it because they were expecting it to be so good. So yeah, you lagging?
But I mean, I feel like, uh, am I? Are
I think
you?
you're good now. I think you're good now.
Oh, okay, okay. But yeah, like I think that back to the One Piece thing, I think that that's what I think we get like in the next like three to five chapters, because it's like we have to see. I feel like we have to see him go against Shutimaru, because we got to see who made this strong motherfucker be like, you got it,
Yeah,
I'll follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like with Luffy and Zoro. Zoro knows he put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, he probably lose. It's an extreme difficulty. I
yeah. I
already
don't.
know you were.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like I won't get into that, but I don't think that we can really see much of what's it called? I don't think we can see much of Whitebeard until we get all those backstories on just like Shutamaru and fucking Raizo, Kanjuro, and then even the Minx, like how that all plays and everything. Like there's so much shit we need to like get to. I feel like before Whitebeard comes into play.
I mean, like didn't we get that flat? But when didn't we get that flashback of like you have a very valid point. I want to preface that. I'm just saying, like, if you really think about it, what does like remember how they said that? Remember the chapter where what's his name said, you're training to be his non-red scabbards, I guess, for lack of just to summarize it. But
I can't remember what you're talking about, but
when with Tomoyasu or whoever, old man Hill,
yeah.
when he was talking to Kinemon, Raizo, and them, like I feel you on that. So that's why I said you have a valid point. But that's what I'm saying. In the next 3 to 5 chapters, I think that's what we get. We
Okay,
get
yeah.
white. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I definitely think that Whitebeard. You convinced me because I wasn't like a big proponent because that's what a lot of people were saying about the Whitebeard stuff. I didn't really think that we were gonna get much of that, but you did convince me that I think that towards the end, that's definitely gonna be kind of where we end off is with that Whitebeard interaction.
Yeah, I mean, I think we get like a little bit of it, and then we like okay, for example, you know how like when we first started it, it was like a flashback, and then we cut back to the real time.
Yeah.
I think that's what's. I think we're gonna get to, because he left us on a cliffhanger with that situation, so we have to see how that gets resolved. I honestly think they're all inside of Caribou, at least for the ones that was at the prison, because for the simple fact, especially after he was like, Luffy Sama, I owe you, like let me go under you, you know what I mean? And he was like, you don't seem bad anymore. And then we know with Luffy's observation, he really senses your character on some Naruto KCM shit.
Yeah.
He senses your malice.
Hmm.
So like how strong do you think Luffy is right now?
Oh God, I think Luffy is probably OP as shit right now. I think especially both Luffy and Zoro, like I think they got huge power ups from their training. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say that like because after the Katakuri fight, I was a little bit hesitant to say if Luffy was 100% stronger than Katakuri, but as of right now, it's without a question stronger than Katakuri. I think.
yeah. Like now, it's no debate.
Yeah.
I mean, the only like I had my reasons for saying that he was before.
Yeah, but now, yeah, you can't even question it. Like he's on like a complete another level. Like he's completely trained his
Yeah,
observation
because
hockey, and he
and
has
he
this new
has that.
hockey,
Yeah,
and
and that's
and
what I
he.
was saying.
We even got like a little foreshadow that he's trying to like mix it with his Gear Fourth shit. So it's like, oh god, that's gonna be dangerous.
You said what? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
Oh no, yeah, I just said we got
Can you hear
the
me?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some connection issues going on right now, but uh, like if he can incorporate the hockey with Gear Four, it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's obvious. To be honest, I think that's telegraphed.
Yeah, I think the way it's gonna work is that he can't do it right now, but as he gets farther into the fight with Kaido, he's gonna learn.
Especially, especially if especially with Tankman is gonna come heavily into play in this arc.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I'm curious.
You,
Yeah, I don't know.
you basically have Shuten Maru's attack style, basically. But if you get close enough to hit him, all he's gonna do is suck you up and spit you out. Pause.
Yeah.
That was a hell. I had to do that one. I'm sorry, but yeah, like, and then with a fucking King Kong with that new hockey, like, oh my god,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that shit's fucking crazy. Like that's gonna be like, yeah. I don't think most people could deal with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if he's Yonko level yet. Probably, definitely not. But like, he's fucking gonna be crazy.
Bro, honestly, like I said, I don't think nobody has went like I don't think nobody has went all out as far as Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. I don't
Oh,
think
I
any
can't
of
agree
them
with
have.
that, but
No, I mean, and let me give you my let me give you my reason. I mean, okay, remember when Luffy was training, right, with all the animals?
sure.
And we see this nigga use the snake. Remember, he had the snake. His the he has the lions. Like he has certain lion attacks or whatever. Like Leo Bazooka, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
I don't really know what that form would be. That's what I'm saying. Like you have the monkey, you have the gorilla. You have the gorilla. You have the snake. I don't really know what
I
the
know what you're saying. There was more animals that he could have used to use Gear 4 forms with. But the thing is like,
well. I think that he had to. I think that though. I think to be honest, I think that every single one of them is situational. That's why he always goes. Because like, okay, look, you know, like if motherfucking Gear 4, if Gear 4 Bounce Man was wiping the absolute floor and his ass with fucking Doflamingo ragdolling the hell out this dude,
yeah.
right? And then so like he didn't use it before he fought Dofi. He only did like every single time he only just used he was using Gear 3rd. We had never seen Gear 4. We see Gear 4, he's knocking them niggas around. The next nigga we see him fight is like his armament hockey is strong as shit because he has all of them soldiers and he's putting armament hockey on all of them, so it's hard to break through them. So he ended up eating them and then used Tankman
Yeah.
because Tankman is a situational like especially the one that we got full version. That's like you know what I'm saying when he starts naming certain shit after like power ups. I think we get a lion type form. Like I don't want to say like I don't
Well,
want to say
again,
like Luffy looks
I
like
think that I'll give you this. This is how I think about his Gear 4th forms. I don't think that any form is inherently stronger than the next. It's more just situational on what he needs to use for each situation. So I don't think, especially with the context of the Katakuri fight, I don't think that you could say that he hasn't gone all out because he went more than all out. He had to get stronger just to beat Katakuri.
No. I mean, but look at it from this perspective. Luffy always fights his opponent with the exact amount of strength that every single fight he does that. Now with certain niggas like Crocodile, that he had to like find a way to beat that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He had to find a way to get him. So crap. What was I just saying? I lost my point.
You were talking about how like he does exactly what he needs to win, and we were talking about Katakuri.
Yeah. So okay, like you said, you don't think any form is inherently stronger than the next. It's just situational, correct?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if he had to went Gear 4 Bounce Man again, he would have lost. After he fought him in base, after he fought him in Bounce Man, every single one of the people that he fought in base Gear 4 Bounce Man.
Yeah.
And then in the second fight, we see him use the shit that actually defeats them.
Yeah.
So he had attacks like Python that was already connecting on Katakuri when he was calm and using his observation before he used Snake Man, because it's basically like he was doing the Luffy, but it's not. You can't see it until it's too late.
Right.
And you're still getting Gear 4 level punches. You're not shaking them shits off.
Yeah.
The reason why, Katakuri was so tough to beat is because Luffy couldn't figure out how to hit him. Once Luffy found out how to hit him, that he was like, okay, this is the best way to fight him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and yes, he did go all out as far as his base and shit. I feel like that was to build up his base, and because like Gear 4 is too taxing on him because his hockey isn't to the level where he should be able to sustain that for more than 15 minutes.
All right, so basically what you're saying is that not that he hasn't gone out in terms of strength, but just that he has more shit that he can still, like, he's got more shit in his bag that he can pull out. Basically. Is that more or less? Yeah, okay. I still don't agree with that, but I think that's more reasonable than what I thought you said.
No, I mean, it makes sense.
To this day, I'm still not even sure if it's still like a hotly debated topic whether or not Luffy had Snake Man the entire time, or even Tank Man for that matter, or if he just kind of made that shit up on the spot. We don't really know. So, yeah, it's hard to tell.
I'm gonna tell you why. Base, when Luffy fought Doflamingo, he said Gear 4 Bounce Man.
Yeah, that's
he said Gear 4. He said Tank Man full version. That doesn't. He didn't say the. You know what I'm saying? He's been labeling certain shit.
Okay, yeah, I will definitely give you that. So I still don't know about Tank Man, or I mean not Tank Man, Snake Man in general, because it's just that entire situation is weird. I don't even want to get into that whole thing because that was like a.
Let me tell you why. He fought the giant snake, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way that he fought the giant snake was by emulating its movements and being faster.
Sure.
So that's why even in Bounce Man, he can use Python.
Yeah.
When he's using Snake Man, his whole he uses his fist like this. Instead of like punches, he uses them like this.
Right.
Basically a viper strike.
Mm-hmm.
That's more to pinpoint certain areas. So then if you have the lion could boost his agility or something. really know
Oh yeah,
where,
make him really
unless
fast.
or unless he uses like this type of fighting style and like just you know what I'm
That would
saying?
go well with the hockey. I feel like if that type of shit.
The simple fact, Sabo does it.
Yeah. The Dragon Claw.
And then like what was the last animal that it was? It was the monkey, the snake.
I feel like I remember it was only 3 or 4. It was like the monkey, the snake, and the lion. I thought were the 3, or a gorilla. I think right. It was a gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla, snake, lion, and it was something else. It was something else.
Oh yeah, you said monkey. My bad. Yeah. I can't remember.
Oh, I'm trying to look it up. Yeah, you probably can look it up faster than me, to be honest. I can't text worth of shit.
Yeah. So
really
just in the
can't.
picture I saw right here, it's just a lion, a snake, and a gorilla.
Okay, so the
Or well,
only
actually,
thing
I
that
think
he
this
was,
is an alligator. But yeah.
yeah, it was an alligator. It was an alligator.
Oh yeah, there's also the elephant too. I
You
don't know if
know,
that counts.
like it's certain. Yeah, I mean, I guess it can. I don't really think that was the main one, but you know what I'm saying. Like when Rayleigh was there, he was fighting. Like when Rayleigh was there, because he said he mastered the basics in a year and a half, right?
Right.
And Rayleigh left in a year and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at all the animals that when Luffy got there that was going against this dude, it's like he tamed all of them. He tamed all of them one at a time. At first it was the gorilla, well, the monkey. First it was that.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe it was the snake. So he had to fight, like he had to find different ways to take out different beasts because raw power wasn't going to take out Katakuri because Katakuri could easily just dodge it.
Right.
So I don't think that. And niggas saying he was like, oh, like he pulled it out of his ass, like, oh yeah, like I forgot. You know what I'm saying? Like people want to say that, right? That was an ass pull. But earlier in the fight, did the same thing not happen when Katakuri said, you about to deflate, huh? He was like, oh yeah, I forgot. He was just so honed in on fighting him and getting stronger and overcoming him that he was just fighting off pure instinct.
Yeah.
So that's why I say like that was bullshit as far as to say that he pulled that out of his ass because it's like niggas was like I remember niggas specifically saying Luffy trash how he forget that he was running out of time and Gear 4.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like so who's to say that you know what I'm saying? Like what's like you see my evidence for it. Can you give me evidence against it?
I mean, it's just the fact that like,
Is it the execution for you more so?
it's hard to say because I just don't. Well, first off, I don't even know what a lion form would even entail necessarily. Like, I feel like because like we always since the beginning we always.
I think he would use it like you know how like in certain like One Punch Man or whatever, you see how with like he adapts like with okay, I'll give you an example like the Hyuga, right? They fight like pinpoint, right? And then you have like the regular shinobi who fight with taijutsu.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, if you take that concept and put it in the same and put it towards One Piece, what's the like? Do you see the correlation?
Yeah, I now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, it's possible that this lion form.
Because all he would have to do is use it like this. Gear 4, Punch Man, Bounce Man is a fist. Tank Man is like this. Um, Snake Man is like this. So why wouldn't he have the claw? You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't you know? Do you? It's different subconsciously learned because that's what he had to use to counter it. You know what I'm saying? Like Luffy's a combat genius. So
Yeah,
tell
it's just
me,
the way.
I
The
mean,
way I
like,
see
okay,
it, he
so
basically has like three forms, right? Bound Man is kind of like the strength form.
hey, no,
And
it's
then
base. Bounce Man is base gear 4.
I don't think so, because if it was just base, I don't think he would call it Bound Man. You know what I mean? Like we
Well,
said
I
earlier.
mean, no, he said Bound Man because he has different forms of gear 4. But I feel like Bounce Man is the perfect balance between strength and speed.
Well, yeah, sure, but
And
like for example, like you have like a PS4, and then fucking like that's the base, and then the upgrade of the PS4 is like the PS4 Slim. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it makes more sense that if it was just base, it would just be called Gear 4.
I mean, but if he had done that, right? It look like hindsight is 2020. So had he not done that, when we saw Tank Man, will we not think he pulled that out of his ass? And then when we see,
Yeah, yeah, probably.
you know what I'm saying? Like you have to look at it from the narrative perspective. If I don't say this, people are gonna think that I just pulled this out of my ass. No, I say Gear 4 Bounce Man because I'm going to foreshadow that he has other forms. We didn't find out he had other forms until Whole Cake
Yeah.
and the beginning of Whole Cake. And then when we thought that was it, here he come with fucking Snake Man.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think Bounce Man is base for the simple fact it's the best of like his normal fighting style. And I feel like the other forms are him using a different fighting style. So I guess I don't really like when I say base, I mean like him using his fist, like he does like regularly. Like you know
well,
what I'm
yeah, it
saying?
would.
Like
You could make the argument like instead of just saying base, like it's like the all around form to where like it's like Snake Man, for example, is like specializes in speed and shit like that, but like Bound Man is like just like an all around good form. Like it's good versus everything, but it doesn't like specialize like Tank Man is like defense.
well, I mean, I feel that, and that's a valid point, and that's a valid argument. On the say that one more time. I'm sorry. I lost my
So
train of
like
thought.
Bound Man is like the like you said, it could be the base form to where it's like it's not specializing in anything in terms of speed, power, or defense. It's kind of just like decent at all three. So like so like going with your theory, Tank Man could be like the defensive form, Snake Man could be the like speed form, and then this lion form could be like the power form. Like it specializes mainly in power. And if that was true, it would make sense into the whole theme of this arc because you have two Yonko, and basically the entire theme of the Yonko is that no one can fucking damage him. So if you have just
Exactly.
like a raw power form, it would make sense.
Exactly. And I think when we get to Elbaf, Luffy's gonna get Giant Man,
He's
or
gonna
he's
get
gonna
what?
like take Giant Man because I think he's gonna have like his awakening by then.
Oh,
Question: what do you think his awakening is going to be?
I generally don't think about stuff like that too much. Uh, because it's I don't know, it's just like so weird because the only
Is it
awakening we
because
saw from Paramecia was just Doflamingos, And if we were gonna try to like extrapolate on what Luffy's would be, that would be like so weird. Like he's turning buildings into rubber. You know what I mean? Like doesn't even make sense to me.
I don't think it's necessarily like that. Okay, I think it's with Katakuri because he's a special paramecia and he's so similar to Luffy. Like as far as he can copy, like he can basically do Luffy's attacks but better.
Right.
So, like with his awakening, I think he's going to be able to fully control his body to the point where he could use gear third without having to do like this, to without having to blow the air in.
Yeah,
Like he could increase his size by the amount that he could stretch. So like when he had like when we see him like put it in 1 foot, right? Like
yeah.
if we use that to construct a giant, that'd be insane. And then you did say the elephant. So that could come into play with the elephant. Like that's it's not
I don't know. It's like
I want to say Luffy hasn't gone out. I want to say Luffy hasn't had all of the situations that he trained for happen yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something possible. I mean, I would just have to see how it was done to really say, because I also just on like not even like a factual perspective, just like my personal feelings, I'm not sure how I'd feel about just having like a shit ton of Gear 4th forms. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it would get to be too much at that point.
Well, see, I think that his awakening would. I think he's gonna have. Wait, how many gears can you have on the car? It's 6 gears, right?
Yeah, I think it's 6.
I wonder if we get 6 instead of 4.
Yeah, I definitely think that at the very least there's going to be Gear 5, but I'm not sure about Gear 6.
I think Gear 6 would basically be his awakening plus Gear 4.
Yeah, I mean, Awakening is still so confusing to me because I'm wondering like what even like you would have to go through, I guess, to do that.
Well, I mean, you have to have strenuous battles, I think, and train your devil fruit. Luffy's been training with his devil fruit since he could fight, so
yeah,
it did take him a long time to master the pistol. But when you really look at it, that's kind of hard to do. Honestly, like throw a punch that you gotta throw back and then direct the force and shit. That's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
But you do have a valid point there. I just think that instead of him like producing shit, because as soon as he ate it, his body was instantly turned into rubber. His heart is rubber, his blood is rubber, his skin is rubber, his hair is rubber. Like everything about this man is rubber.
Sure.
That's base. As soon as he eats it.
Yeah.
So when that's like, oh shoot, I lost it. What was I saying?
You're talking about like everything's rubber or something?
Yeah. Everything about him is rubber from when he eats it. So basically base devil fruit, right? No training, nothing. He just gets like he just swallows it, pause. And he gets his whole body is instantly turned into rubber.
Yeah.
So I'm saying his awakening, since he can't produce rubber, since he can't since he can't make rubber come out the ground or whatever, he can fully control all of his vital organs and everything like everything about him, all the forms and properties of rubber.
I pretty much agree with that. If I had to take a guess, I would say that his awakening would be something to where he can like completely he just has full control over like the like you said, just all different types of rubber. So like if he wants to make it super elastic, he can do that. If he wants to make it like hardened, he can do that. He can just like always control like the different like properties of it to make it whatever he needs.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like if that's if that's and if he who's to say with Gear 4 he couldn't turn giant? Because he probably could turn giant. I mean, because I'm saying like instead of him just being able to make a giant fist or two giant fists, he makes himself a giant. He uses all of it at once because he's fully controlled. He doesn't have to blow air into it for it to expand.
Right.
He's just producing rubber inside of his body instead of like affecting the outside, like instead of affecting the world or like people, it affects him and everything about him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just we need to see more awakenings.
Yeah, but like I think that because Luffy is a genius, fighting genius, and we saw him like learn about awakenings versus Dofi, and then when we see him like really then like when we see him really go out, shit, I hate when I do that. So if he can do that, why like if instead, like I said, instead of blowing air into each part, he just can do it all at once. Like because we know that Oda used Gear 3, he used Gear 3rd from inspiration from Choji. You know,
I didn't
right?
know that,
Like
but
you didn't know that? Like that's where he got the concept of Gear 3rd. It was from Choji from Naruto.
yeah, I didn't actually know that, but that makes sense now that I think about it.
Yeah, so that's all I'm. So I mean, do you think I have a valid point and a valid theory?
No, yeah, I like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I don't like I just don't have like a strong opinion on it. I haven't thought about it a lot is really all. Like
I
like you
mean,
said, like that would probably be pretty close to my bet with something along those lines.
yeah, and then like what it affecting the stuff around him. Have
Yeah, because
you don't read much, do you?
no, because like the thing is, we've only, as far as I know, we've only seen so like Katakuri and Doflamingo were the two main characters we saw, and then other than that, we had the Awakened Zoans. Those were the only people we've really seen with Awakening. So it's like hard to gauge what Awakening would exactly be. Like we can kind of guess that
Well,
Awakening
okay,
for like someone like Akainu and Kizaru is why they made the island like that. Like when they fought on Punk Hazard, like that was like some like Awakening level shit to where they kind of like
no.
turn the environment into their element.
If this nigga Kizaru creates a fucking sun, that would be crazy.
Oh, that would be ridiculous.
Like that would be so broken.
Yeah.
And if Fujitora Awakening would basically be like the hyper, like not the hyper
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, like the gravity room.
yeah, yeah.
That would
So
be, oh, dude, that's actually so cool of an idea. To where like he can like move around freely, but like everyone else is just weighed down like crazy.
yeah.
That would be OP as fuck.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, like all of the Paramecians, like all of the devil fruits, except with the exception of zones, they all produce. Like, I mean, they all either produce. They all either produce or produce like affect the environment or themselves.
Right.
So it's like, man, Buggy would like low key be broken. That motherfucker turned like that could be crazy.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So like Luffy, that's what I'm saying. I think we get Gear 5, and then we get Awakening plus. But I think he's gonna have like a base awakening to the point where, like, you know how like Katakuri, when he just walked, the floor turned into mochi, and Doflamingo, he just walked and the floor turned to
String. Yeah.
do that, but in the air though. Especially since he's doing that already in Gear 4. If he was like on some gentle shit from My Hero, oh my god,
Yeah.
that man would be broke. Because he would basically be would be like skywalking but using Bellamy shit. So like imagine somebody skywalking and then using Bellamy Springs at the same time.
Yeah, that's fucking OP as shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh man.
yeah. So it's so like I just think that Luffy's ability will be able to produce inside of himself, pause, and infect the environment with the base shit. So I feel like he's gonna have to master like just jumping off the air and turning everything into rubber so everything is bouncy and shit. But
Yeah, I really just more want to see, because I don't think that even if that does happen, I think it's very unlikely that we see that this arc. But
oh no, hell no. I say the most we're gonna see in this arc is either Lion Man or whatever, Lion Tiger, whatever the fuck that was, oh my.
yeah,
We see that, and then potentially Gear 5.
yeah.
At the most, I think we see Gear 5.
I think we might see it like a Gear 5.
Oh, either Gear 5 or his awakening. One of the two.
Yeah. He definitely needs something else probably besides just the hockey. I don't think the hockey will just be enough.
I don't think the hockey would just be enough, but that's what I'm saying. If he basically I lost my point. Go ahead. I lost my point.
I can't remember, but yeah, he needs something else besides just hockey. So I would definitely say probably Gear 5 is a possibility there. I'm not even sure what that would be, but maybe
yeah, I mean maybe Gear 5 would basically be like,
I think it would be interesting if Gear 5 was kind of like a thing where it was just like a single attack type move, to where like he kind of like puts everything into one attack, if that makes sense, and like he just like fucking does insane amount of damage. I don't know if that would be a good thing or a bad thing, but
that would be funny. That would be funny in the homage to, like, 'cause I think he would only use it once. But
yeah, it would be like a Rock Lee type thing, to where it like fucking like destroys his body. Not to the extent of Rock Lee, but like it fucking destroys his shit.
No, I don't think it destroys him. I just think it might make him shrink.
I think it would have to be more than that. It would have to like completely drain his hockey. It would have to be like a Gear 4th level like thing, but even more. Like it would have to like completely just drain him.
Well, I mean, no, but like I'm saying, like imagine a Chibi Luffy that can't move.
Yeah, that would. If that happened, I could definitely see a scenario, and this would be, I don't even know if I would like this or not, but if that happened, I could definitely see a scenario where he does that and like fucking like that's like his like final attack on Kaido, and then Kaido lives and like someone else has to fucking take him down, and then that would leave into the fucking like Zoro defeating Kaido memes, which would be hilarious, but I wouldn't.
No,
I don't want that.
that would make you jizz your pants. Don't lie.
I would
Don't
love
lie.
it to be honest on some level, but
I
I
know
don't.
you would.
I don't
You would
want.
read
Well,
and dive of the
well, I'll say this: I would love that, but I just don't. A lot of people, I don't know why people keep saying this. People keep saying that fucking Zoro's gonna like fight Kaido, in like some serious sense. I think that's just gibberish. But
I mean, like, I don't like. Okay, how would you feel about Zoro fighting? How would you feel about Zoro fighting Queen instead of Sanji fighting Queen and Sanji fights King?
I would be very, very upset. Only because King is like, I don't know. Like, I want Zoro in this arc. I want him to fight like some badass fucking dude. I think that from what we know about King right now, he's kind of like that fucking edgy dude who kind of just like sits there. He doesn't like really say much, but he kind of just gets shit done. So like him facing up against Zoro, I feel like that's just like a fucking legendary fight in the making. And that if Oda
like,
did make him face against Queen, it's just like a really missed opportunity. And just to go a little bit further, like I feel like going on that, it would make more sense for Sanji to fight someone like Queen because like they kind of like are both like those like jokey kind of funny-ish characters, like meme characters. So
I'm gonna give you a strong counter, like a full counter on some Meliodas shit to what you just said.
okay,
To be honest,
it.
it doesn't make sense for if you really think about it, it really doesn't make sense for like it'd be a heavy nerf on Zoro. So it wouldn't really make sense. A lot of people would be mad because this nigga can fly. And we know that Zoro has like Zoro, if he can get you, if he can get to you, that's your ass. But if you can basically like evade him and still and attack at the same time.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I feel like that just adds more to it than anything else because Oda could write a fucking insane ass fight like that. You know what I mean? Like he could write a really cool fight to where like fucking Zoro has to like do some crazy shit to kind of like counter him because he can't really like fly or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because I mean he couldn't fly against Pika, but he kind of like found a way for it to work. Like he had to have someone like launch him at him. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like because anytime, like Zoro's my favorite character in One Piece. I'll be honest. Like, but I'm heavily critical of Zoro for the simple fact that he is my favorite character. Just
Sure.
like I was a Naruto fan. Like I've been a Naruto fan since Believe It, my nigga.
Oh, so you're telling me that your pain name has to do with Naruto then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Pain is my favorite villain post time skip.
Yeah. Pain is a great character.
King was my first pre-time skip.
Oh, okay.
That was my favorite villain. Like pre-time skip, Kimimaro was my nigga. That was that dude. Because he was the commander of all the Sound Ninja 4. And it was like the only people that feared the Sound Ninja 4 by with no help was motherfucking Neji. And he damn near died.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. I haven't seen Naruto in forever, bro. Holy shit. I hardly remember half that shit.
It's a great rewatch, I'm telling you. And it's like a lot of things in hindsight is like, okay. Because like with the Kaguya shit, like I was anime only. I never got spoiled. The only time I got spoiled was when I saw the fucking Naruto Ninja Storm 4 because 4 came out before the anime dropped.
All right.
Because they were the backstory with Kaguya. But yeah, enough about Naruto. So, what do you think about Inu-sama? Like, where do you put him? You put him before Blackbeard, or do you put him after Blackbeard?
Wait, who?
Inu,
Oh, like in terms of
Inu-sama?
strength?
Yeah, I don't think that's where I was going, but yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Repeat your question again.
No, you're good. I mean, you can just answer from what you thought I heard.
You're talking about Emu, right? Like M?
Emu, yeah. I'm saying do you think Emu will be the last, or I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
Do you think that he will be the last villain? Like, so you think he will be before Blackbeard or Emu?
I really
Or
don't know.
sorry.
This has always been my whole thing with Blackbeard. I think that he's probably going to get 3 devil fruits.
Yeah.
I think that's very, very likely. I think he.
Because I mean, when you look at if you look at context clues, he was like, if they're gonna take it, I might as well, because the Marines know how to collect devil fruits. They know, they got, you know what I'm saying, they got, what's his name, Vegapunk. So they know how to get it. So I think they were planning on killing Kaido.
Yeah,
and if they kill Kaido, devil fruit, and then that's why, like, when they seen like everybody was going to Wano, it was like, all right, if they gonna take it, we might as well. I'm gonna pop up first and take it, and get his devil fruit, and then have the 3 strongest devil fruits.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. I'm not sure like how it's gonna go down, but yeah, I think he's probably gonna end up getting Kaido's fruit. And the thing is that I'm not even sure how I like that in the first place, but let's just assume Oda's gonna do it well. Luffy's gonna end up having to beat him at some point, and Luffy is gonna have to be OP as all shit to be able to beat someone like that, right? So like that has to be some like super endgame type shit to where he has to beat him.
Yeah.
And then
go ahead.
No, yeah, and then just like to even think that there would be someone stronger and like than that he would have to overcome doesn't really sit right with me.
I mean, okay. Luffy wants to be the king of all the pirates, right?
Correct.
So this nigga has to be the strongest. It's basically the Hokage.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like trying to be like Hokage. And like with Naruto, this nigga wanted to surpass all of them. And in the lore, every single Hokage was stronger than any of the other Kage.
Right.
So wouldn't it make sense that he would be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, no, I have no problem with him being the strongest. Or, well, I kind of like, I have no problem with him beating Blackbeard, is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that I don't see how, like, the way, like, Blackbeard just seems like he's going to be fucking so OP at the end of the series. I can't imagine that M would be stronger than that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
even if he was stronger than that, how Luffy would even get to that level without just some weird shit going on.
I mean, I think that could be like, a big ass war, and then Luffy just comes in and just fights like who's ever still standing.
Yeah, it's possible.
If you know what I'm saying? And it's not so much he's more powerful, it's just he has more influence.
Yeah,
but he's more.
Oda could definitely do that. But
you know what I'm saying? Because it's always hold on. It's always 2 sides to the spectrum. Because it's like with the pirates, you got a whole pirate system. Then with the Marines, they got a whole system. Basically, the admirals matter, the fleet admirals matter, the Gorosei matters. So, and they all control all of the everything else. So you have the four Yonkos who control a piece of everything.
Sure.
So they don't have the ability to make everybody do what they want to do. Basically, if you take the Allied Shinobi forces and put it against, like,
I see what you're saying, but like the thing is, at the end of the day, take any shonen ever. Who's the end villain of Dragon Ball? Like whatever Z GT, it was Boo and Z. You know, it's always the strongest character basically of the thing. That's the final villain. If it's in Naruto, it was Kaguya. She was like the strongest being in that sense. And fucking Bleach, it was fucking what's his name? You watch, like he was like the strongest being. Like all of these series
honestly, I don't even think the strongest. I think. Well, I don't know. I'm biased because I fuck with Oz and more, but I don't really know if I think that Uwak was the most powerful. I just think he was the most broken.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even I definitely don't agree with that, but even if we do want to say that, for the most part, you see what I'm saying? Like the main villain is always like that fucking dude. So
yeah. I mean, but like if you look at the prior villains, they're not no slouch. Like, because look at it, like Madara, not no motherfucking slouch.
No,
Everybody
yeah,
thought he was the villain. So Twist, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, I don't think
she whooped everybody. I mean, I know
think
niggas don't fuck with execution and don't really like Kaguya, but
yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think most people actually liked Kaguya. So like that's what I'm saying. I don't think I would like it if M was like that thing. But at the same time, I have to admit that whatever the fuck is going, huh?
I mean, now it's set up. I said it's being set up now. To be honest,
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have to acknowledge that M is like kind of being like set up as like this super important character, and it does seem like, barring any like crazy plot twists, the way that it's probably going to go down is that Luffy defeats all the Yonko, except Blackbeard and Shanks, and then maybe he has some interaction with Shanks, blah 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 blah, and then he fights Blackbeard at Raftel, basically for Pirate King, and then after that he has a war with the world government. So I see what you're saying in that sense, but I just I still can't get over the fact that I can't imagine anyone being stronger than Blackbeard.
Yeah, like I said, he doesn't have to be necessarily stronger. He could just have the most hacks ability.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? He could just have the most like broken like shit. Like if we think that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we think that Blackbeard's like powers are OP, then if this dude just like had some shit that negates all of that shit, so it's like, damn, you got to start off from square one and build back up to like. So you basically got to fight dude in base, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know how it could go. But honestly, I'm saying like I was asking you. So you think that we're gonna see Imu-sama get destroyed before we see Blackbeard? Because it's just like I see what you're saying, but it just doesn't make sense.
No, yeah. Again, like narratively, I see what you're saying. I can definitely come up with some scenarios as to where it could possibly make sense, but even those are kind of ass pulls. So like,
but I mean, like, the only reason I say that is because he's just introducing.
Sure.
He's just introducing him. So it's like if he hadn't introduced him before Wano, niggas would have been like, bro.
Yeah.
And he came after Wano. No. But being that it came up now, and we still have to go to Elbaf, and then we have to have the war with the power for the Pirate King. and then we gotta have the war for the admirals because Luffy and Kobe got to fight.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Kobe,
So like,
my nigga, he is slept on.
yeah,
I
that's
honestly think he could with some help, not solo, not 1v1, but I think he could beat both.
yeah, that's another thing. I'm not even sure if M really is like a powerful being in of himself. You know what I mean? Like it's possible he's kind of like a Spandam type dude, and maybe the Gorosei are like his protectors or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
Like you said, it's possible. Like he definitely has some type of like power. I don't know what it is, whether it's like future sight or what, but he has some type of power, and it's possible that it's unique to him, whether it be a devil fruit or whatever. And like the Gorosei kind of just like respect him and just like put him up on that pedestal and they defend him.
I could see that, but it's just like, why would they do that if he wasn't that? You know what I'm saying? Why would they be under him?
Well, it could be like some like I guess like religious, because like they kind of do worship him as like literally a god. So it's possible there's like some like weird religious type thing going on there, or
Yeah,
traditional thing.
yeah. You can keep talking. I had to make a call. Oh my fault. I just was trying to see what was up with this woman I met.
Oh wait, what?
But it
Sorry.
was. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I said I was just I had to make a phone call right quick to see if everything was gonna go as planned.
But yeah, I got a dip in like 15 minutes, so I don't know if you want to.
I was about to end it in
Oh,
like
okay,
I was
okay.
about to end it. I didn't expect it to go this long, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
was
good
it
discussion.
was time was flying
It
by, bro.
really did, honestly. But yeah, if you want to plug your channel, whatever, well, yeah, honestly, being honest, you've got more attention than me. I should have put you on the title to get some more clout.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, I'm sure everyone or most people who's watching know me, but I don't have a channel, so go check out fucking Bragos channel. I come on there sometimes. New Grove being uploaded either tonight or tomorrow.
I was about to ask you, when the fuck is the growth coming?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the problem is that
Yeah,
the Grove is
seven.
like specific. Yeah, it's like specifically 6 people, right? So we try our best to get all 6 people, but like everyone has just the weirdest fucking schedules that are all fucking different. Like
Yeah.
Quietly in particular, he has this weird schedule to where like he will like work and then he'll come home and then sleep for a little bit and then he'll go to the gym and like fuck around and then he'll like sleep again. So he like sleeps like twice a day. And then, fucking Brago of all people, he's like fucking got a family and shit like that. He can't always be around. I'm fucking in school, so like you got all that shit going on. It's so hard sometimes to just schedule shit.
I mean, yeah, I feel it. I mean, because that's what I was thinking. It was like it's hard to make time for that specific thing, but that's why I was like, my brothers was going out. I'm just chilling. I was gonna hang out with a female if she won't bullshit, but she bullshit it. So it is what it is. Happens every day, B. But yeah, the kid paying out. Shit
Peace.
out 10 say motherfuckers. Peace.
You fucking rolling a blunt